Okay. Hi, everyone. Thank you very much for joining our learning session here at the e-commerce and digital marketing mentoring program for MSMEs and freelancers. So we've already finished our discussion on e-commerce and digital marketing, and this is the start of our session where we're going to focus on freelancing. And our first topic is all about the freelancer business model. So for this session, I'm going to talk about identifying your freelancer skills. We're also going to talk about freelancer tools. And then, last but not the least, the freelancer business model. How can you monetize and grow your freelancer business? So, why do you want to become a freelancer? I'm curious. Of course, we have so many motivation as to why do we want to become a freelancer. But how about you? What push you or what motivates you to explore freelancing? You can type your answers in the questions box, and I will read your answer. Or you can also press that raise your hand button, and I'm going to unmute your microphone so that you can share your answer if you are interested in having a discussion about it. No? So you can find the chat box at the lower part of your GoToWebinar control panel. So I hope you will share your answers as to why do you want to become a freelancer. So there are many reasons why people would like to become a freelancer, but I think the interesting challenge that we have for today is that or an opportunity for that matter is that there are so many opportunities online. You have friends looking for people who can help them on a part-time capacity. There are now online sites that you can visit and submit your portfolio or express your interest or bid on projects where you can get a job. And then, of course, there's the everyday reality where, of course, we're trying to beat the rat race every day, the traffic rush, the time that it takes us, to get the job done, go to work, go back home. So there are many things that affect our daily lives, and I guess these pressures are also pushing us to really explore why do we want to become a freelancer. And then, of course, there are people who are also doing it because they want to have extra income, no? Para bang maybe your salary is not enough, or maybe your salary is enough, but you want to earn more. But rather than engage in direct selling and try to sell something here and there, maybe you've decided that you want to capitalize on your skills, and hopefully, if things will turn out well, maybe it will open doors for you where your freelancer work can become a good source of income and can even be bigger to what you're earning from your employment, and perhaps that can help you transition to your full-fledged freelancing career. And I guess there's a lot of convenience exploring freelancing because nowadays, although we're not saying that our internet is super fast, but I think we have reasonable internet connectivity right now to the point that you can work from home, get your work done, apply for jobs online, and manage all of these work related opportunities online. So, the first step in venturing into freelancing, I believe, is that you need to identify your skills. Look at what you're good at. I must admit that's easier said than done. I mean, of course, when you identify your skills, more often than not, if you have full time employment, you look at what you're currently doing right now at your job and think about, okay, ano bang ginagawa ko ngayon sa trabaho ko? Saan ba ako magaling? Saan ba ako magaling nung college? If I've been working for the past 5 years or for the past 10 years, what have I been doing in my job na pwedeng sabihin ko na yun ang skills ko? That's a good start, pero I must admit it's easier said than done. Sometimes you discover yourself along the way. So allow me to share to you my story. I started venturing into freelancing as early as 1995. Ganun ako kaaga nag-start as a freelancer. And at that time, I wasn't really sure what I'm going to do as a freelancer. Para bang one day nag-decide ako na mag-resign from work, and then I decided to operate a small computer shop. Hindi pa internet cafe noon kasi wala pang internet cafe at that time. Computer shop lang. Pero before resigning from my work, I saw an event, and then I decided na why don't I pitch in the service that I was handling at that time from my last employment, which was an email management system for Unix systems. And they said, I cannot do a product pitch. So is there anything that I can teach that can be of benefit, but not a product pitch? So I proposed then that maybe I can talk about setting up an email system. So that was in 1995. So, and the guy liked it. And then I was surprised to find myself na doing that talk, and I even got paid for it. So that was my very first speaking engagement. And in 1995, would you believe that speakers were already being paid like, if I recall correctly, we were already being paid like 2,000 or 3,000 pesos an hour, no? As early as in 1995. Although I must admit that rates haven't changed that much through the years, maybe because of the competitiveness of the market. So I realized that, pwede ka palang kumita online pwede ka palang kumita as a freelancer kung mag speak ka. Of course, it depends on how much access do you have from events that will give you that kind of an earning opportunity. So taking stock of what you're good at, of course, you look at what you're capable of, but sometimes it's not easier. It's easier said than done. Sometimes you discover yourself along the way, no? As I indicated. So sa akin, doon ako nag-start. So I've been open to a lot of opportunities, and sometimes I was even proactive in looking for opportunities, and I would suggest topics, and that would allow me to get those opportunities. But today, hindi na, I think the last time that I proactively looked for events was in 2003 when I was looking for international events where I could speak. Kasi nung 2001 to 2005, halos lahat ng speaking engagements ko, puro abroad na. I was speaking at APEC events, WTO events, UNCTAD events, ITC events. So, tumitingin ako noon ng mga call for papers, mga kung ano-ano mga opportunities, and I would submit papers para proposal of topic ideas, at doon ako nakakakuha ng mga opportunities at that time, no? And then my first speaking engagement, from the audience, there was the editor of PC World Philippines who asked me if the talk that I gave, can I write about it? So sabi ko, yeah, sure, why not? No? And at that time, if you write for publications, actually you get paid like a peso per word, no? A peso per word for your article. So, or sometimes they give you a fixed fee, no? So I remember, I think, getting paid like a peso per word for my articles, no? Although ngayon, I must admit, as I said again, the fees paid in 1995 and as of today, halos hindi gano'n nagbago, no? And sometimes they're even lower, no? And it took me like, because I spoke at that event like July, it took me like 2 months to complete my very first article because I was really struggling on writing because it was my first time to write. But after submitting and getting it published, doon ko na-realize na it seems I have a knack for writing, and then I started writing for publications. So nagsulat ako for the web. I also wrote for Inquirer, Manila Bulletin, Philippine Star. Um, I I think marami ako nilapitan na publications, and I even maintained columns, no? The last column that I maintained for a long time was with Sunstar Cebu. And I also wrote for international publications. I remember writing for World Executive Digest and submitted 2 articles. At that time, parang mga bayad sa mga articles noon were $1 per word. Would you believe that? Pero exchange rate kasi noon was 25 pesos to $1. Pero anyway, um, that paved the way for me to also venture into writing, and then later on that gave me the confidence that I need to put up my own website, which was digitalfilipino.com. And then when I started digitalfilipino.com, I decided that I want to publish books. No? Normally, if you really want to introduce yourself to the mainstream, you publish a book. But of course, if you haven't but of course, if you haven't been there during my time, maybe you wouldn't know that I have published books, no? So I published my first book in the year 2000, And then the second book I published in 2004. They were all printed publications. Although kaya lang to tinawag na ebook kasi nagsimula siya as an ebook tapos ginawa ko siyang book. It was the first book published by McGraw-Hill Education Asia in part working with a Filipino author. So ako yung unang naka-work nilang Filipino author. And then at that year also, we published the documentary, yung Philippine Internet Review, 10 years of internet history. So this was 2000, year 2000, year 2004. And then while we, di ba nasabi ko nga, nung 2001 to 2005, I was speaking abroad. And what gave me that opportunity was when I worked on my digital Filipino stats report series. So the moment I was doing stats, I was doing a lot of research. Whenever I have events, I would have people fill up survey forms, and then I would come up with reports. So I was selling my reports at $30 per report, and I was publishing one report per month. So although I did not monetize my reports directly, but the reports, well, na-monetize ko siya in a sense, nakakuha ko ng mga research projects. Pero mas na-monetize ko siya nung nagpipitch ako for speaking engagements abroad. Kasi parang malaking bagay na pag nagpipitch ka, hindi pwedeng may maganda ka lang topic. Maganda, meron kang unique na arsenal. So my unique arsenal was my research work, yung body of work ko in research. So nakatulong siya para makakuha ko ng mga speaking opportunities abroad. And it was interesting kasi halos every month to meron. Nakapunta ako ng Mexico, nakapunta ako ng Geneva, nakapunta ako ng Nepal, basta kung saan-saan. Hindi ko na ma-imagine kung ano pa yung mga ibang napuntaan kong lugar, just to present those papers. And then in 2003, I also decided to launch my own community, which was the Digital Filipino Club. So I was doing meetups then. So yung mga meetups namin noon, para bang, okay, kailangan club member ka if you wanna meet up with me, and then I'll give you free consultation. So those who will meet up with me then will bring their laptops, tapos para bang may mga concerns sila, i-discuss nila yung mga concerns sila sa akin, tapos bibigay ako ng advice. It was interesting kasi a lot of the people that I met through meetups, parang may mga iba dyan, nagkaroon talaga ako ng parang partnerships, no? Like for example, uh, through Digital Filipino Club, I met Randy Manaloto, who organizes WOFEX. So up to today, until today, I still speak as part of WOFEX. Through the club, I also met Dr. Nick Fontanilla, who is now my partner in iMetrics Asia Pacific Corporation. So, although medyo naglaylo ako sa club kasi parang mas nag-focus ako ulit online, pero I must admit, while doing my presentation earlier, I just realized that I kind of missed the community that I have. So, the community started in 2003, nag-10 years din kami, and then after the 10th year, I started focusing on my premium courses. And when I started focusing on my premium courses, I must admit, medyo naglaylo ako dun sa club. And then, medyo tumaas kasi masyado rin yung fees namin eh. Kasi every time we were offering something new, parang tumataas siya. So, parang naging challenging din. Kaya siya tumaas kasi we had a lot of training programs for members. So, we had a certified e-commerce entrepreneur program, we have a digital marketing entrepreneur program, and we were holding our classes at Ateneo Rockwell. Para bang pag club member ka, free yan. Makaka-attend ka ng libre. Tapos mga 10 sessions yan, 8 sessions yan. You can attend it for free, and all my classes then were at Ateneo Rockwell. Kumbaga, ganun ako ka-committed sa mga members namin at that time, no? Pero, traffic wasn't really that bad yet in 2014. I mean, tolerable ang traffic in 2014. I don't know. Siguro masyado na ako na-expose sa probinsya to the point na it really became a challenge to travel in Metro Manila. So a lot of our activities were online. So we would hold like 3 days workshop sessions in Tagaytay. We would have them in Secret Paradise in Palawan. And then the last one that I did, we did it in Boracay. So parang ito yung mga what I would call mga intimate sessions. Kasi different clubs operate differently. Some clubs, they take pride kapag maraming members. Ako hindi eh. Para bang gusto ko talaga maliit din because I really enjoy the what do you call that? Parang mga intimate conversations. Na you only have a conversation with two people, with three people, four people, brainstorm with their ideas, exchange insights. And I think that also resulted to much more long-term relationships kasi mas deep yung relationship na nabibuild mo or na-establish mo with individuals. Kaya kahit na medyo maglaylo na kayo ng matagal-tagal, they still remember you kasi yung experience na binigay mo. So parang very experiential ako noon sa mga activities ko sa club members. No? So talagang full of conversations. And then in 2008, I ventured into publishing again. And I came up with Digital Filipino. And it was my first time to really take learning videos seriously and integrated a learning video series with the books to be able to demonstrate yung how to create a blog, among others. And that paved the way for us to level up with our e-learning. Kasi during this time, when we were doing e-learning, our e-learning were email-based. Kasi nung 2003 naman, di pa uso YouTube nun eh. No? Kaya puro email-based lang ang mga e-learning. Tapos dito, medyo, social na yung YouTube. Pero we were posting our content on Vimeo. And then our books paved the way also for us to partner with schools. So this book allowed us to partner with eLearning Edge and Ateneo to come up with the Certified Blog and Social Media Entrepreneur Program, which was entirely based on the book. And then we came up with a lot of learning series on e-commerce, and that learning series in e-commerce paved the opportunity for us to partner with Asian Institute of E-commerce to come up with a certified e-commerce professional program. And now we continue. So we're expanding our content. We're partnering with different institutions delivering our content. We started parang coming up with a different version of a club through the Patreon system. And then through the training programs that we offer, it also led to new freelancing opportunities. Like when I was discussing cryptocurrency trading or cryptocurrency 101, which I did in November, that paved the way for me to handle two cryptocurrency accounts of clients. Kaya ang pinaka-freelancing career ko ngayon na meron akong client, yan, yung cryptocurrency trading for two clients. So as I mentioned on lesson 1 of our series, freelancing is a doorway to self-discovery. But if you have a growth mindset, you can capitalize and build on your strengths. And the only reason why I showed you all of this was when I was looking at what are you good at and identify your skills. I must admit I really don't know what I would put at that time. Kaya minsan it's unfair na when I talk to my students, oh, gawa tayo ng Upwork profile. Lagay nyo lahat ng skills nyo. And sometimes you just look at it and stare blank. Ano bang, saan ba ako magaling? Ano ba talaga yung pwede kong ilagay? And sometimes you learn it along the way. So for me, along the way, I realized, oh, okay pala ako sa speaking. Uy, okay pala ako sa writing. Uy, okay pala ako sa research. Uy, okay pala ako sa community management. Uy, okay pala ako sa mga workshops. Uy, okay pala ako sa mga planning and review sessions. Uy, okay pala ako sa e-learning. Okay pala ako sa paggawa ng mga video lessons. Uy, okay pala ako. Pwede na pala akong gumawa ng certification programs. Uy, okay rin pala ako. May skill pala ako sa cryptocurrency trading. Pwede pala ako dyan, no? So, it's an ongoing process. So I think what I would suggest if you're the kind of person who would like to venture into freelancing and kind of deciding saan ba ako magfo-focus, if you're unsure, then go out there and experiment. I think you won't lose anything, and maybe doing those experiments will allow you to rediscover what are you good at. So lahat ng mga ginawa ko ng mga past, parang experiment siya. Parang I have a feeling that I am good at it, but I need to come up with something para mapatunayan ko na I will be able to test myself whether this is something that I am good at. In fact, marami pa ako ibang sinubukan na hindi ko na-discuss, yung mga event management, etc., etc., etc. Marami akong tinry, no? So freelancing is definitely a self-discovery phase. It's an evolving, it's an ongoing this self-discovery phase. And you have to keep an open mind. You need to have parang some sort of resilience. You need to have a positive attitude on failure, because some people, when they fail, when they lose money on certain projects, they get depressed and they won't do it again. But actually, each failure is an opportunity for you to learn and do things better the next time. Like, for example, I must admit, as I indicated earlier, all of these were self-funded. So I could say that I did not make any money from all of this. Lugi siya. But through this, I could say that I was able to monetize it because I was able to use this publication to gather respondents for this. Kasi para maging respondent kita dito, bibigyan kita ng libro para seryosohin mo yung pag-participate mo sa survey. Through this, doon ako nakakuha ng speaking engagements abroad. So may mga ano siya, parang naging para bang ang tingin ko sa books noon saka sa research reports, they're marketing collaterals. And through the books, parang yun din yung naging way para makapag-build ako ng community, because people knew me as a book author, and the reason why they also started participating in our events were because of the research and books that we publish. And because of our community, and we were offering free training, saka kaya rin sila nagpa-participate. Pero nung ginawa ko tong book na to, hindi ko pa alam ko talaga makiklik siya. And I was able to do my pricing correctly when I did this book project in 2008. Ito masasabi ko kumita tong book na to kasi nagkaroon siya ng second print run sa third print run. And the second and third print run were a result of a school offering buying the book in bulk and requested for a discounted price. Pero yung discounted price na hiningi niya, kahit paano, kumita pa rin ako sa kanya. No? So, kailangan talaga, if you want to venture into freelancing, one thing that you have to embrace is that it's an ongoing growth process. And that's something that I want you to consider. So before we proceed to the freelancer business models, let's talk about the tools that you need to have in running your freelancer application, your freelancer journey. So of course, you need to have some sort of a freelancer toolkit. You need to have a nice curriculum vitae, and you need to have your best work showcase. And that is a challenge when you're trying to get your first project. Wala ka pang work showcase. Kaya kapag wala ka pang work showcase, yan yung time na nag invest ka to have a work showcase. Yan, kung tingin mo pwede kang maging freelance na trainer, then maybe you look for opportunities na makakapag-conduct ka ng training kahit na libre para lang magkaroon ka ng showcase. Kung tingin mo magaling kang writer, then maybe you need to start a blog and write, no? At gamitin mo yung mga articles mo para makapag-build ka ng writing portfolio. I mentioned earlier that I was able to write for international publications, and the only way that I got those projects was I had to attach write-ups that I have published through PC World, the web, o kung saan-saan man ako nagsulat. Nung nag-create na ako ng website ko, yung mga articles ko sa website ko, yun ang ginagamit kong pang showcase, no? Yung books ko, naging showcase siya para magkaroon ako ng opportunity na magkaroon ng course when I did that partnership with e-learning, Edge, and Ateneo. So yung book ko, yung naging showcase ko for the creation of the course. So you need to build your showcase. Sometimes we get so occupied living our day-to-day na basta magtrabaho lang tayo and we get paid. But if you really want to become a freelancer, then you need to establish your proof of work, no? Yung showcase mo. Kaya ka gumagawa ng website. You put your best foot forward. You try to create a video series. You try to create a blog series. Kaya mo ginagawa lahat-lahat yan because your best work showcase will be the one that's gonna yield you opportunities in the future. Sabi nga nila, you won't be where you want to be tomorrow if you won't do the necessary work today. No? So kahit anong aspiration mo for tomorrow, it will not happen if you will not put in the necessary work today. You really have to commit that every day you must create a masterpiece somewhere. Like for me, doing this webinar for you is an opportunity for me to create a masterpiece. if I do it right. If I don't do this right, then I have to do it again. Another day, another opportunity for me to create a masterpiece. No. Of course, through your experience, your ups and downs, what went well and what did not went well, you can come up with services offered, um, and as you get to know yourself better, you will also be able to come up with your branding. Of course, you need your gadgets. You need your desktop, your laptop, your mobile phone. You need to have good internet connection. I remember last year, or was it 2 years ago, when I updated our internet to fiber. Noong una, nag-aalangan pa ako eh. Pero nung nagko-conduct na ako ng webinar, nung napapansin ko na I had to leave the house and go to a hotel somewhere so I can do my webinars. And I was doing that 3 times a week. Sabi ko, i-upgrade ko na lang yung internet sa bahay para hindi na ako umaalis. So, it was a good choice, no? Um, it depends on the workout that you do. But for me, for e-learning, it's really critical that I have good internet, no? You also need applications. So, coordination tools, email, file storage, office productivity, time tracking, and customer relationship management. For payment acceptance, of course, you can use PayPal, Payoneer, and you need to have a bank account for that. And if you want to accept payments from uh, bayad centers and cryptocurrency, you can use coins.ph. So some websites that you might want to look at, of course, if you are serious in freelancing and you have to pay taxes, you can use Taxumo for self-employed professionals. But however, if you are employed, you can you can do your normal tax filing as an employed person, and then mag-attach ka na lang ng another form to declare your outside income, no? If you kung nakita mong, lalo na kung local yung naging client mo. I also like Google Docs a lot. They have a lot of nice templates there. They have brochure templates, report templates, even project proposal templates, resume templates, no, that you can use. More often than not, we don't explore the gallery sa mga Google Docs, but check it out. It really has a nice set of galleries na pwede mong gamitin din when submitting proposals and the likes. I also like, of course, there are tools like Slack, Asana, Dropbox, G Suite. Pero for me, I use Basecamp. For file storage, I am really comfortable with Google Drive. I'm paying like $5 a month para ma-accommodate yung aking growing mailbox size and growing Google Drive size. I'm also a subscriber for Basecamp. I think I have a sample here of my Basecamp account. So typically, I use my Basecamp account to house all of my lessons. So instead of, although kasi mas nakafocus ako sa e-learning, so instead of projects, I manage classes. Like for example, I'm overseeing the rural impact sourcing technical training. So we now have a class in EMUS. So pag nag-start yung class, I add all the students, I add the trainer. I'm not using a learning management system. I decided to use instead a project management system for the e-learning. Because since we're training freelancers, I want the freelancers to be exposed to Basecamp. So, doon ko nilalagay yung mga lessons namin. Doon nakalagay yung mga tasks. No? And then, doon nakalagay yung mga, at kung ano-ano pa. So, tuloy-tuloy yan. No? Tuloy-tuloy yung pag-build ko sa kanya. And that's where I also template. Pagdating naman sa mga projects, nagagamit ko rin siya for internal coordination, among others. So I really like Basecamp. Good thing I was an early subscriber. Kasi if you will subscribe to Basecamp now, you will have to pay like $99 a month. I was very lucky because I subscribed to Basecamp when it was still $29. So buti na mabait si Basecamp. Hanggang ngayon, yung mga early subscribers, yung rate namin, kung ano pa rin yung rate dati. So I'm very, very happy with Basecamp. You also need customer relationship management if you want to be in a situation where you want to log all the conversations that you have with your clients, and where you want to log also all the deals that you are working on with clients. Remember, in this series we have a session on customer relationship management. I would suggest that you check on that if you want to learn more. I think that's here, no? Pag tinignan niyo yung series natin, nandito yung customer relationship management. It's saan yun? Number 10. It's video number 10, yung customer relationship management for MSMEs and freelancers. Although I'm primarily using Nimble as a tool, but if you are starting freelancer and you want to use something that you can work on for free, I would encourage that you use HubSpot. It allows you to do deal tracking. You can add lead-in forms on your website. It will also track visitors' activity on your website. You can send follow-up emails. You can set up deals. You can add teammates, unlimited number of teammates, especially when you want to delegate tasks or assignments, uh, and monitor the progress. So CRM is a very good coordination tool as well, especially when referring to specific clients. It depends on the job that you have. For me, I don't necessarily have to do time tracking, but if you are in a position where you need to track the time that you spend on projects, what I notice, most of the time tracking apps have fees, no? So kung gusto niyo ng libre, I notice myhours.com has a free package. I also like tmetric.com kasi you can add up to 5 users for free. So if you really need to time track the amount of time that people spend on projects, especially if you're paying people per hour, then I think these are good tools that you can also check out. And of course, if you're looking for online jobs where you can showcase your portfolio, there are many sites out there. There's Upwork, Freelancer, Fiverr, 199, People Per Hour, Golans, Online Jobs, Racket, Filipino freelancers, among others, where you can post your opportunities online. And we will be talking about that tomorrow, yung freelancer profile creation, no? And discuss it further. Okay. So at this point, let's talk about the freelancer business model. The idea when talking about freelancer business models is how can you monetize your freelancer business? Of course, by default, as a freelancer business, you get paid for the services that you render. But if you want to scale, pwedeng hindi ka na nagiging freelancer. You're more becoming an entrepreneur. And that is normal. A lot of the entrepreneurs, a lot of the freelancers eventually became entrepreneurs themselves. Kaya nga sa probinsya, uso ngayon yung term na rural BPO. Yung mga freelancers na nagsimula ng sarili nila. And then, nung lumalaki na yung projects na hinahandle nila, they started tapping friends, training them, tapos started sharing projects with them. And then when they realize that they need to grow further, ayun, nagpuput up na sila ng maliit na office, parang 15 tao, simpleng mesa lang, simpleng upuan, lalagyan lang ng computer, parang mukhang internet cafe. In fact, mas low-tech pa sa internet cafe kasi mas simple lang yung computer. And then they start working on their projects hanggang sa, ayun na, lumalaki na sila. Not necessarily within one space, maybe may freelancer siya na hire before na taga ibang lugar, makikipag-partner siya ron para yung freelancer na yun, i-replicate yung setup niya. And a lot of these are happening in the provinces or often referred to as rural BPO. But that's a different topic altogether. I just thought of mentioning that to you. So when you look at e-commerce, where freelancing is a sample activity in e-commerce, of course you can make money from your expert services. If you have package services, then pwede rin siyang parang retail that you can offer. Pwede rin siyang subscription, although ang ginamit natin ditong term ay membership. So if you are a freelancer and you are implementing a guru revenue model, pwedeng you get paid because you are a resource person. Maybe you get paid because people want to consult you and you charge a fee for that consultation. You get paid for doing project management. Para bang tipong, oh, I have this project. I want to hire a developer. I want to hire a tester. I want to hire a writer. I want to hire a graphic designer. But I don't have time to do all of that. Can you do that for me and oversee the project? So you can be a project manager, no? So ibig sabihin, hindi ikaw necessarily yung gagawa ng dirty work, but you will oversee the project and you're being hired for your project management skills and perhaps for your connections and your expertise on the project domain to the point that you are in a competent position to know whether the project is being done correctly or not. Um, you can also be paid for creating project briefs because some clients they know what they want, but of course if you want to start engaging players, you need to create a project brief that thoroughly explains everything, including the terms and conditions, project contracts, among others. So pwedeng project brief ka, or maybe you're there to simply define the requirements, yung requirement specification, requirements development, mga RFPs para mag-run smoothly ang isang project, including the preparations of contract, no? So that is an example of a possible guru revenue model. Of course, there are many other types of guru revenue model. Pag retail ang revenue model mo, then pwedeng you get paid per project. Like, may website ako, papagawa ko sa'yo. So, parang email siya, di ba? O kaya may papagawang specific task. I'd like you to test yung registration dun sa website, whether it works. So, I'm paying you a fee for this. I need you to create a scenario where you will need to run 10 registration scenarios. So, you test whether it's gonna work or not, no? Maybe you are also offering a package, like for example, oh, we do social media posting campaign, we will post the 3 times a day for you over a period of 1 month, and this is the package. Or maybe you're working on a campaign na sabihin natin, okay, our campaign will run for 21 days and the campaign involves um, posting every day, answering queries, logging them to the CRM, doing email follow through, managing the Facebook ads, etc., etc., etc. So, pwedeng isang campaign siya. So, it depends. But normally, what makes retail revenue model uh, um, parang fit in this type of aspect, ikaw mismo, yung service mo, well-defined na. To the point na ina-avail na lang siya ng client. Para ba may sinasabi ka na, social media campaign service. Our social media campaign service is $1,000 for 1 month and it covers the following. Ganun siya. O kaya pag sinabi mo, I have a website development package and the website development package is this. It's installation of WordPress, a 20-page website, optimization of the pages, buying a team and customizing the team to your requirements, making sure that Google Analytics is properly integrated, etc., etc. So, yun yung sinasabi nating nakapackage na siya to the point that you can really set a defined rate for it. No? Meron din tayo tinatawag na subscription model. Sa mga retail, these are usually one-time opportunities. When we talk about subscription revenue model, or sometimes referred to as a membership revenue model, you subscribe to a package na you pay it per month, no? So like a service package per month, a service package per week, or service package for X number of days. For example, I have a trial project before, which was the search profile index. So in the search profile index, companies will be paying like $100 per month, or $1,000 in a year, where part of the deliverable is a monthly report comparing the company versus three competition insofar as their online presence is concerned. When we talk about online presence, what 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 the four companies being compared to are doing on social media, what were they doing well, what has changed insofar as their search engine visibility is concerned, what has come out online. And then for the client who paid the service, what are the suggestions that the client needs to do in order to improve their search and social media visibility? It was a good idea. However, I stopped the project kasi parang I had a client na parang I was running the report for 3 months already. I was getting frustrated kasi I was giving the recommendations per month, pero hindi niya ini-implement yung recommendations. So as a result, I ended up giving the same recommendations per month. So parang naging boring siya, no? So, hindi ko gusto yung ganon. okay sana yung fees, pero syempre hinahanap mo accomplishment eh. Gusto mong makita nagkaroon ng change dun sa side ng client. Kaya parang hindi ko na siya tinuloy. Pero anyway, I hope you get the point, no, na it can be a service package that you have come up with that clients will pay you for it, and then you just charge a fee. So pwedeng website maintenance, o kaya yan na nga, search engine visibility analysis, social media competition analysis, or how do you call it, graphics creation service, per graphics creation service, that you're gonna give them 20 graphics per month that they can use for their campaigns, or maybe like an email marketing newsletter service na ikaw ang gagawa, and then this is a package that they will avail of on a regular basis. Okay, so that can be a sample of a subscription revenue model. So typically, if you are starting with your online business, especially if you're starting as a freelancer, normally you start with retail. Like sa akin, oh, per talk, per article, per blog post. So, puro per deliverable. So, pag natapos na yung deliverable, wala ka na naman kikitain. Hahanap ka na naman. And sooner or later, you realize na you cannot be contented with this because parang low income siya in a sense na one time and then that's it. Sooner or later, you wanna look for opportunities na mas premium. So that's why you move on to a guru model na parang tipong mas long-term ang engagement. Kasi dito usually short-term, dito mas long-term ang engagement. At pwedeng mas retainer ang arrangement mo rather than here na talagang per output. And then later on, you would want to be able to offer a subscription model para mas sustain yung income mo, no? Para kung makakuha ka ng 3 months project, 6 months project, 1 year project, mas tatagal yung resilience mo sa business. So again, you start with retail, and then you move up, level up, and do more higher end type of work that is related to what you were doing on retail. And then you retail, that's one way of doing it, or you upgrade your retail to subscription base by offering, by developing packages that people can avail of on a regular basis and lock them in, no, para yung freelancer business model mo mas maging stable siya kaysa sa per project ka lang naghahabol, no? Parang yung writing articles. I remember nakakuha ko ng project noon for 3 websites na we have to churn 10 articles per month. And then I was working with freelancers. I only stopped nung na-realize ko na may mga writers pala na parang okay, pero actually, nag-article spinning lang pala sila. They were copying articles from other websites. Nire-respin lang nila. And I found out about it nung may nag-comment dun sa mga articles na pinublish ko na supposedly in-approve ko, binayaran ko. And then, ganun. So, nung tinignan ko yung original article, hindi naman kinapi yung words, pero kita mo yung flow of thought. At kaya niya na-track kasi parang siguro itong taong to gumamit din ng mga article, mga software para makita niya kung paano ini-spin yung content ng article niya. So parang from there, medyo worry ako when dealing with article writers that I don't know personally. Kasi hindi ka sure kung akala mo ang galing, gumamit lang pala ng spinning software, no? Tapos inedit-edit lang, no? Kaya palang tataka ka, ba't mabilis din nakakapagbigay ng article. So may mga lessons learned ka rin along the way. So let's talk about the business model per se. Um, how many of you are familiar with business model generation? If you are familiar with business model generation, kindly press the raise your hand button. Okay, thank you, Mike. How about the others? Are you familiar with the business model generation? Okay, if you're not, thank you, Gab. For those of you who are not familiar with the business model generation, you can check the book, Business Model Generation, and you can also visit strategizer.com. Um, Last year, I enrolled in the strategizer class, yung business model generation at saka yung value proposition development, no, yung kanilang bundle. So para mas talagang makatulong kasi siya sometimes kasi ito kasi palagi ko itong tinuturo sa mga e-commerce classes ko, sa mga blogging classes ko. So very important siya sa akin. So last year I really decided to take the course and get more or less a much more official certificate na nakapag-aral ako sa kanya. So there are four patterns in developing your business model. So let's talk about the four patterns and how will that look like in a business model generation setup. So one of the popular patterns is all about unbundling. So usually in the unbundling business model, you have a business model, you currently have a business on how you do things, but you want to unbundle it so that you can further explore opportunities in the business. So for example, a typical freelancer business model can be you are into site development, you do digital marketing, you do customer relationship management, which can be in the form of social media, but at the same time, you manage the purchases that the websites are making and making sure that the clients get the products or services that they ordered, and answer technical queries that they may have. You may also have training as a revenue model because normally when you have clients, they would also ask for a training. So that's the value proposition. The value proposition intends to serve customer segments defined here as an example who can be MSMEs who need help in building and managing their online presence, company heads who need advice or consultation, meaning maybe they're doing it internally. They have people who can do it, but at the same time, they need someone that they can talk to so they can bounce off ideas and see whether they're doing it correctly. Or maybe you're working with government who needs help in executing their ideas, of course, through request for proposals, through project bids, and the likes. And management of delivery of value proposition to the target customer segment is achieved through having a one-on-one customer relationship, self-service, especially if you have tools that your target markets can use, and maybe you also have an online community or an online tool like Basecamp, no, where there is coordination for that matter. And delivery of services and getting the job done can happen through social media, website, face-to-face webinars, and through trainings. And you have and your revenue models consist of project fees, subscription, especially if it's a package, maybe retainer depending on project situations, training, and consultancy. I always emphasize that a sustainable business model should have different types of revenue sources. You must have packages that will allow you to earn one-time fees, repeat fees, meaning something that clients would pay for on a regular basis. Maybe you have a service where you can upsell or cross-sell in relation to your value proposition, and those that will allow you to have a short-term engagement and those that will allow you to have a long-term engagement. So this is the front end. And on the back end, activities can include development, research, promotion, client management. And your primary resources would be the processes and systems that you have created to be able to deliver this type of service and the necessary investment in credentials so that your clients are assured that you're not just, making bola, bullshit, etc., etc. Na talaga may proof ka na you can do what you're claiming that you can do. And maybe to help you reach out to your customer segments, you work with partners like PR and marketing agencies who are dealing with clients and usually sought for to help them in these areas, but they don't have the skills to do it, so they may want to partner with you. You also need to partner with freelancers who can accept outsource projects because maybe due to the volume of your projects you will not be able to do it on your own, and sometimes you just want to work with people who are really good at what they're good at rather than delivering average service. You deliver above average by partnering with freelancers who are good in what they're in that area of expertise. And in this case, I've also defined event organizers because for our training to gain traction, maybe it would be good to work with event organizers to create some publicity also for what you do. And then cost structure. Of course, to be able to operate all of this, you need connectivity, you need subscription to platforms that includes your web hosting, subscription to tools like Basecamp, your CRM, your email marketing platform, your webinar platform, etc., etc. You invest in training, certification, and travel because, of course, to be able to do all of this, you need to talk to a lot of people. No, so this is the base. Now to unbundle it, so this is how unbundling can look like. Unbundling is you exploring what are the components in your business that you can unbundle and really look for opportunities where you can monetize it. In this example, since the projects that for example lang naman no, for the projects that I attract, I need to work with freelancers. So one way of unbundling is I look for project opportunities where my freelancer pool can do it. So you can unbundle based on the supplier side. So pwedeng kukuha ka lang ng mga projects and then you outsource it to freelancers who can do the job. So instead of freelancers looking for work on their own, which they can still do, you can focus on looking for work na that your freelancer pool can handle. So and you earn from it in the process. Another example of unbundling is that if you have this infrastructure already, then you can just focus on coming up with new products that your current infrastructure can benefit from. So meaning instead of just focusing to the areas that I defined earlier, I can keep on coming up with new products that will take advantage of the existing infrastructure that I have. One example of that, as you can see, the telcos, di ba? You're just amazed on the various services that PLDT, Globe keep coming up with, keep announcing, and you're sometimes amazed. Bakit parang labas sila ng labas ng kung ano-anong product? Kasi their infrastructure is established already. So they can just keep on coming up with new products that will take advantage of their infrastructure kasi parang unbundled na siya. Parang na-unbundle na nila yung mga iba't ibang operations so you don't have to replicate the creation of the entire operation for each service. Optimize yung existing operations. Another way of unbundling is just focusing on delivery, like in this case, which is customer relationship management. So if you've mastered customer relationship management and taking care of your customers, that can be a niche on its own, yung project management. Kasi yung getting pulling things together, managing it, making sure that it doesn't collapse, making sure that it doesn't go into chaos when things go wrong is a very important skill, no? So managing the operations, managing the customers, managing the community is a complex operation by itself, and it can also be unbundled in the process. So that is unbundling. Another revenue model that you can explore is what is referred to as long tail. In the long tail, you generate income from multiple products in small amounts. So the key to a sustainable income is the creation of various services, whether you do it on your own or whether you collaborate with your people. But the idea there is that the more you create, you earn little from each of them. But in the process, when you put them together, you make money from a lot of them. For example, when you look at Amazon and when you look at Lazada, which claims that they have X 100,000 or some baka million na nga of products in their catalog, in a month, in a quarter, um, how much sales do they generate per product? For Lazada, I'm sure there are products there na baka in a quarter, dalawa o tatlo lang ang benta. But since they have so many products in the platform, kahit na dalawa o tatlo lang, it doesn't matter because they have so many SKUs on their website. Therefore, they earn from the long tail, which is you make money from the many. Okay, so that's the idea there. So an example can be maybe like Udemy, where they have so many trainings, programs, or modules that kahit na mag-offer sila ng buy one, take one, etc., they make money from the many. So if I will reflect on that, on the offerings that we have, so in our case, we have 101, we have marketing training, technical, branding, leadership, certification, etc., etc., etc. So even though these are small, but since they are spread out, there are times where one will bring more revenue, and there are times where one will bring more revenue. But the diversity allows you, the combination of it allows you to earn from it. So long tail siya. No? So you make money from the many. So like in this case, um, freelancer service pa rin naman siya in a sense that you're into the development of training program. Maybe pwedeng nag-evolve na siya as a business because instead of offering it to clients, pwedeng ikaw na gumagawa para sa kanya. Then, yan, MSMEs who need to learn practical skills within budget, company who needs in-house training, government who needs resource persons per event, relationship 101, self-service, online webinar, channels, social media, website, face-to-face webinar training, revenue models, again, one-time, repeat, upsell, cross-sell, short-term, long-term. So training fees, monthly fees, training management, curriculum development, web access for past lessons. No? Operations, there's development, research, promotion, client management. Key resources are the development of training systems, certification. Partners can include trainers, training centers, freelance trainers, event organizers, and back-end costs are the following. So this is an example of a business model for long tail. So when you look at it from a freelancing perspective, if I'm a freelance course creator or I'm a freelance trainer, this is how my business model will look like. Kasi pag freelance trainer ka, either maghintay ka lang na may mag-hire sa'yo as a trainer or you create your own opportunities. And more often than not, you would create your own opportunities. Same here, no? Kung freelancer ka, these can be the skills that you're offering and then you're looking for clients. But if you want to further expand your income, then you look at what you have. No, like you can manage freelancers and get projects for them. You can develop new products, or you can focus on operations and introduce new products in the process. Kung freelance trainer ka naman, you render training pag may nag-hire sa'yo. While waiting for clients, you can also offer training. No? So this can be an example of a long-term, long-tail training. We also have a multi-sided business model. In a multi-sided business model, two parties need to exist in order for the service to survive. So, for example, when I started my adventures in SEO by joining SEO competitions, one of the things that I realized na para mag-rank ka sa search engines, kailangan mo ng links. So since I was also blogging with Digital Filipino among others, I was able to build a relationship with a lot of bloggers. And that's the time na nagkaroon ako ng opportunity na magkaroon ng blog network. So I started offering $100 services to club members na if they pay me $100, I would get 10 bloggers to link to them. Yung mga ganun-ganun ba? And then later on, that evolved to a lot of things. One of the biggest campaigns I ran was to get 150 bloggers blog in one day. No? Yun, mga memorable na projects yun. No? Misa may mga kasamang off the ground activation. So the so in a multi-sided influencer network, in order for this to survive, you need two parties. You need the influencers, the bloggers, and at the same time, you need the advertisers and the companies who would like to work with influencers. Without successfully managing both, you won't be able to do it. Kasi you might have advertisers and companies to work with, but the quality of your influencers are not so good. So, hindi rin sila masasatisfy. Sometimes naman, ang high quality ng network mo, pero kulang ka naman sa access to advertisers and companies who would like to advertise. So, it needs to be a balance of both. So, in this scenario, the value proposition can be maybe you're doing blog campaigns, social media influencer campaigns, and community engagement. If you're a freelancer, maybe nag-i-start ka by writing blog posts and posting on social media on your own. But if you are able to manage to grow your business, that means you have built a network already where you can say na I can do 10 blog posts but not on my blog. I can get 9 other bloggers who can write for you. But instead of you contacting the 9 other bloggers one by one, you talk to me and you pay me for 10 blog posts and I will pay my friends. Parang ganun ang setup niya. No? Um, on the client side, you need advertisers who need help promoting their product or service, which can be the company owners themselves. And sometimes companies need to engage bloggers and influencers because they want to discuss issues or correct some wrong information out there that may be affecting their reputation. And of course, customer segments can include bloggers and influencers who would like to monetize their online presence. I think I noticed some of you are in the room, no? Yung mga medyo nakatrabaho ko before sa mga blog campaigns. So the relationship mostly in this nature is one-on-one. Rarely that it is self-service, only if you have a platform. Pero I noticed one-on-one is what works best for this type of setup because influence is all about relationship. So kaya matrabaho to in terms of relationships, no? You need to spend a lot of time building relationship and sustaining that relationship. So channels can be social media, website, face-to-face, webinars, and of course training both sides of the network. Um, and revenue can be in the form of sponsored posts, package campaign, which can be on a regular basis, or package campaign on a short-term basis. And on the back end, you have your key activities. Your key resources can be your influencer relationships. People get you because of the depth of relationships that you have with influencers, your own digital presence, and your campaign strategies. Um, Kaya kung tutusin, if you really wanna engage in influencer marketing, the first presence that you have to create is yourself. Kasi kailangan your presence alone, pag nag-contribute ka dun sa campaign, malaki yung impact dun sa campaign kasi strong ang presence mo. Okay? That's why influencers really continuously build on their presence. Not so others would focus on quantity, but others would focus on quality. So it depends on what game do you want to play in. If your game is on ranking for search visibility, then it's not about the number of connections that you have. It's the quality, the kumbaga, page rank ng properties mo, no? Pero kung ang habol mo would be dissemination, reach, then it will be more on the numbers game. All right? Of course, on the back end, it's the more or less it's the same thing. The only thing that's different here is relationship building and events. Andyan na yung, oh, sponsoran kita dito, sponsoran kita dyan. I will support you in this project. I will support you on that project. Kasi kapag part yun ng influencer building exercise. So, so this is an example of multi-sided. Of course, when you look at it from a freelancer business model, medyo advanced na to for a freelancer. Ito yung freelancer na blogger, na writer, na nung nag-start siya, pwedeng kumukuha lang siya ng writing projects para sa sarili niya. Pero kung nag-grow siya at lumalim yung network niya, then pwedeng kumukuha na siya ng writing projects, social media projects, na hindi lang siya gagawa, yung pool na niya ang gagawa. So that's the idea here. And last but not the least is hindi ko pala siya, sorry, hindi pala to long tail. Ano to? Free as a business model. Let me just, free as a business model. Okay. So, can you make money by giving something away for free? So, that's the question. So, yung idea behind free as a business model is that you're giving things away for free. So, for example, a value proposition mo, you give free training, you give free learning content, you give free consultation, you organize free events that anyone can join. No? So, yun yung value proposition. And maybe, pwedeng may premium ka. Pero more often than not, karamihan na nagpo-focus sa free, wala silang premium. Okay? Hindi lahat na nag-o-offer ng free, may premium. More often than not, karamihan na nag-o-offer ng free, walang premium. Talagang free lang sila. All throughout. No? So, actually, pwede kong tanggalin yung premium dito. Talagang nakafocus lang siya sa free. Okay? So, sino customer segments niya? Kasi pag nag-organize ka ng something for free, more often than not, ang business model mo nakafocus on education. No? MSMEs who need to learn practical skills within budget, company heads who need in-house training, governments, again, who needs resource persons for events. And, or maybe instead of resource persons, pwedeng partners for an event. Who needs partners, collaborators for an event. Okay. And then company heads na more or less looking din sila for collaborators. Pwedeng kasing they're doing a campaign for their target segment pero imbis na magbayad sila to a company, hindi sila magbabayad. Hahanap lang sila ng collaborators para makukuha pa rin nila ng free, no? Parang ganun yung idea. So, pwedeng sabihin natin, pwedeng wala siyang premium. Talagang free lang ang kanyang business model. Okay, so that can be the scenario here. The person is doing something for free. So meaning freelancer ka, siguro mahilig kang gumawa ng training, mahilig kang mag-vlog, mahilig kang magbigay ng advice sa tao, mahilig kang mag-organize ng event, pero ayaw mo maningil. Gusto mo free ka lang. No? So can you make money by giving something away for free? Alright? So yes, it is possible, pero in this case, the freelancer will earn from one-time sponsorships. Depending on the free training that they're conducting, maybe they have affiliate program arrangements so they can make money from the affiliate program revenues. They can also make money from long-term sponsorships or they can make money from premium offerings. So for MSMEs, pwedeng yung mga nakaka-avail ng service, pag taga-tagal, nag-contribute na rin sila, nagbibigay sila ng mga sponsorship or mga freebies. Company heads who need partners and collaborators, pwedeng magpa-partner sila, pero pwedeng part din ng deal is pwedeng maging sponsor sila ng mga ginagawa ng person na yan in doing all of these free activities. For government, pwedeng free yung arrangement, free yung partnership, pero pwedeng magkakaroon sila ng partnership in a sense na lahat ng mga activities nito will have government endorsement or these activities can be done in government facilities. So, wala rin silang expense in the process. Ganon din dito, pwedeng may facilities sila, so dahil free to, pwedeng gumamit ng mga facilities din nila for free. And itong nag-organize nito, they get income through sponsorship, through other types of partnership that can be monetized in the process. Pwedeng part din ng kanyang income can be merchandising. No? Pwede rin siyang kumita from merchandising, yung mga swags. No? Instead of giving that away, pwedeng may community branding siya. Halimbawa, ang pangalan ng community branding niya, for the sake of discussion, halimbawa, ano kaya maganda? Freelancer Camp, o kaya Freelancer Academy, o kaya the Freelancer Network. Tapos, para bang, if you participate in this activity, you're part of the Freelancer Network. And then, to support the community, bibili ka ng swags. No? So, pwedeng doon din siya kumikita. So, that's another way. So, the back end, they look for collaborators on projects. Yan, pwedeng they work with training centers, event organizers para masustain nila yung ginagawa nila. Pero pwedeng sa ganito sila kumikita. Okay? And then, another business pattern is the open business model. So, in the open business model, like the one that I showed to you earlier, ang difference lang nito is that instead of you going to clients and deliver the projects directly, in an open business model, pwedeng may partnership ka. Companies who want to offer digital marketing and e-commerce services but no back-end support. So, you work with them instead, parang ikaw yung back-end support niya. No? So, you don't go out there and look for clients. You just work for a few service providers na sila yung naghahanap ng clients kapos ikaw ang nagpo-provide ng buong back-end support. And then you also work with freelancers para yung delivery ng services, kung hindi kaya ng back-end mo, may freelancer pool ka who can work with you. So you generate your income through project fees, partnership fees. Pwedeng yung ganitong arrangement, may partnership investment. Kasi technically, dapat kahit pa paano, isa-subsidize mo yung operations mo. You can also earn from tool licensing. So let's say meron kang mga tools na na-build, tapos gustong i-offer nung customer at iba-brand nila yung tools as if it's theirs. then pwede mong paggamit sa kanila pero you're charging a licensing fee for it. Or you can also charge for marketing support fees kung ikaw na yung nagba-back-end support dun sa customer relationship management and managing this relationship. Pero imbis na identity ng mo as a freelancer, ang kinikerry mong identity ay yung identity ng company. Alright? So, yun yung difference. And of course, for this to work, what really would work is that you have established processes and systems para these type of services can be rendered smoothly, may protocol ka, may process kang sinusunod, maybe agile, scrum, or kung ano man yung mga processes that you have defined na ma-set up siya. No? Okay. So, I hope you learned a lot from today's lesson on freelancer business model, and as we touch also on how you can identify your skills and what are the tools that you can use in rendering, in building up your backend para makapag-render ka ng freelancer service. All right? So thank you very much for joining today.